Hey Sag, welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards for August. August is a little bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, it's maybe not entirely as tumultuous as June and July were because it's not eclipse season. We also have a couple of nice things happen. Mercury moves into Cancer, and Venus finally moves out of Gemini, where she's been since April, and she moves into Cancer. And Mercury moves into Leo. And we have the Leo energy. The sun is in its home, it's illuminating things, so it's bringing truth, it's bringing realizations to the surface, giving us the energy and the ambition and the drive, especially with Mars, where he is getting ready to station. So there could be turning points. There's also a lot of Uranus energy in our skies. So turning points in August for sure. However, it is not September. And September and October of this year will be really monumental months. So as far as perspective goes, as far as expectations, don't expect to have all the answers in August. I think we're going to see different perspectives. We're going to gain knowledge and maybe learn some new stuff about ourselves still in August. And we're going to learn new stuff about the people in our lives. For sure, with the Leo and Aquarius moons this month, a lot is being illuminated, and yet it's not as jarring as the eclipses. So let's get into these cards. In your recent past, the energy is Seven of Wands. So this is really an energy of having to fight for something. It always brings up feelings of competition. If this is an office work thing or in friendships, there's a lot of confrontations. Now, Mars and Aries can cause that. As you could see, people are a little bit more triggered now. People are a little bit more emotionally raw and tired and easily irritated. And so there could be a lot of circumstances in your life in which you're feeling a little bit more tension. But the Seven of Wands is a little bit more than a little bit of a tension. It's feeling like you really have to fight for something that's yours. Fight for your ideas, fight for your rights, fight for your dreams, quite literally fight for your stability in a situation. And the situation is that of the Six of Cups. Six of Cups often represents our past. It could represent people coming from the past, and if this is in a partnership, maybe you've had issues where your partner's past is creeping up on them or affecting them in some way. Maybe you're finding out they were talking to exes, or even if you're dealing with a partner or somebody that would cause tension. It could be, old childhood wounds coming up. We're just coming off of that Chiron conjunction with Mars. A lot of people may have been working through some childhood unresolved traumas, or traumas and unresolved old relationships. The Six of Cups also talks to me about a little bit of a fantasy world. It could represent something that is very precious to you. It could represent children, a time of innocence, a time of wonder. But sometimes I see it in my tarot card readings as it being kind of where you hold somebody up on a pedestal. It's not really the most realistic view of who this person is. You know, if you are somebody that has been really going through a hard time in a relationship, you may feel like this person is a soulmate or a twin flame. But oftentimes when I see that Six of Cups, it's usually an area where we're giving somebody a little bit too much credit. We could also be holding our expectations of that person way too high. And sometimes I see a little bit of codependency here. So you've got the Seven of Wands and the Six of Cups comes through as this energy of trying to hold on to something that's kind of slipping away. Now, I say that because the Seven of Wands comes out above your first moon card, meaning this is the energy you're beginning August in. And it's your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So that's why I'm actually seeing this as a romantic relationship. It could be a job. Maybe there's a lot of things happening at your job now that's making you question the stability of your company, making you wonder if you've made the right decision. Should you be looking elsewhere? And that Six of Cups comes out underneath your animal spirit card, number 20, the dolphin spirit. This and that is true. So there's an element of duality with that Six of Cups, as I was explaining. And both scenarios can exist at the same time. This could be a soulmate. It could be a twin flame kind of connection. But even still, there could be some toxic energies of codependency. There could be a bit of illusion within that, where maybe this person isn't quite as deserving as the love that you've been offering them. Now, your current energies is the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. So if this is related to this relationship, whatever it is that you've been struggling with or fighting for, whatever's been kind of a hiccup, inconvenience, aggravation, tension in your life, you seem to have built a wall or a boundary. And that's not always necessarily a bad thing. Of course, in relationships, you don't want to have walls around you. You don't want the separation. You want to be able to, be open and honest, to be yourself. But the energy of the Nine of Wands, if you remember, the Nine of Wands is kind of where you feel like you need to defend yourself. You have to keep yourself safe. So there could be trust issues for sure. And the Seven of Pentacles always talks to me about time and investment. And we're reviewing these things now. We still have a lot of planets that are retrograde. So even though Mercury and Venus is picking up, which serves us well because we're starting to see and communicate in a clear way, we're reaching new territory in our self-worth, new territory in our feelings, and understanding how other people in our life feel. Being able to have those conversations, there's something a little bit odd about the energies and when everything is kind of in an uproar. The first instinct, like what does everybody do? You run out and buy toilet paper. You stock up. You try your best to reach a level of stability, right? To make sure that you have enough. You're preparing for the worst things to happen, which I pick up on that 9 of Wands. There's not having trust in your foundations at this time. And so the 7 of Pentacles is a time when we reassess. And I think there's a lot about where you are sinking your energy into. If you have spent a lot of July and through this eclipse season dealing with a relationship or a job or friendship or anything where you felt drained, you're starting to realize, maybe in a way of, I've wasted all this time on this. I really put so much of myself, I put so much of my energy, my hopes and my dreams into this situation. And oftentimes with the 7 of Pentacles, we're disappointed. But it's not disappointment like 4 of Cups. It's a place where we could re-strategize and make the adjustments that we need to make to balance things out. And I love it because right underneath those 2 cards is your angel card, which is the Angel of Balance. And if you look at this card closely, she seems to be kind of, holding a briefcase. So she wants to be focused on work. There's just a lot on her mind. She's in a workout outfit. She's looking at her house, her family, her finances. And maybe, even if this isn't a relationship or a big dramatic, career change, I think it might just be a time for you to rest and relax. There needs to be a balance in your life as to stress and pleasure. And that 6 of Cups is certainly representing pleasure, joy. Now, not of a sexual tone, but more of a getting back to who we were, as a child. It's, playing in the backyard, building a fort, just kind of doing things that make you feel good, that stimulate your imagination, reading a book, getting into spirituality more, whatever it is that makes you feel a little bit more relaxed. If you are in a relationship that has been a little bit rocky and you're realizing that you've spent most of your time and energy and all your emotions are wrapped up in this situation, well, the 7 of Pentacles comes and shows you the things that you have maybe been letting go of. Maybe you haven't been paying attention to your finances. Maybe you haven't been doing a kick-ass job at work because you're stressed out and you're tired. Whatever it is, it really is a blessing what's happening, because that Angel of Balance is going to show you how to redirect and rebalance that energy. And it could also be how to rebalance your expectations of others and how you allow others to kind of affect your vibe. If you have a partner who's been going through a lot and has been needy, this is a time for you to kind of draw some boundaries and get things straight again for yourself. You can't put anyone above you because you're just not, you don't have the capacity to help others, to love others, to invest in others if you are not investing in yourself. And I'm very much picking up a tone of maybe things are happening in your personal life because the universe needs you to get focused on your career or on your finances. Because I don't see all of this drama as being the be all end all. It's like a rocky time at home. And it's funny because I always pick up this Nine of Wands. Like when I think about the 9 to the 10 of Wands is when he's carrying all the sticks on his back, and it's like he can't take another step. He's ready to collapse. He just simply cannot take anymore. It's like hitting that brick wall and you're not making any progress, and yet you keep trying and trying. So to me, the 10 of Wands is kind of, if you're living with somebody, it's kind of the moving out, right? So the 9 of Wands is the energy you're in now, is kind of just moving to different bedrooms, okay? No, there may not have been a breakup. Nothing seems official yet, but it's starting to make you prioritize your life better. Maybe review some of your dreams. What are your goals? If you're with somebody and it's codependent, yet you have tremendous goals, like you want to come home from work every day and work out for an hour, and your partner is constantly needing you, well, that's when you have to draw a boundary and you have to say, at least half of the time I want to be able to do this thing for me. I want to see something in my life culminate. I want to reach those goals. Resentment builds when you have a hard time reaching goals and yet being in a partnership. Now, your challenge card for the month is that of a Knight of Cups. And your overall energy is a 5 of Cups. Underneath the 5 of Cups came the Hermit. I could keep going, but the story is the same. The challenge card is the Knight of Cups, and he comes out on top of your spirit animals. So now we're kind of moving into the energies towards the end of the month, okay? This is where the energies are carrying you into September. And you got the owl spirit. You see clearly now. And he comes out right underneath your challenge card, which is the Knight of Cups. So back to the beginning scenario of maybe your partner was dealing with some exes in their life. Maybe causing some feelings for you where, it's competition, it's instability. And I think your first instinct, and what would probably be easiest, is to forgive and forget, right? The Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is not always a bad card. But the Knight of Cups energy with the 5 of Cups energy is somebody who's operating out of a place of guilt. Okay. I get the feeling, if this is somebody else's energy, that they feel awful about the situation. They feel a sense of loss and a sense of regret, and they're in a place where they're having to see what they've lost, right? 9 of Wands. You've drawn some sort of a boundary, and they know that you're in a decision mode on what to do. And a 5 of Cups energy might come off a little manipulative. In other words, I'm getting the sense that trying to heal this quickly, to forgive and forget and move on, get back together, probably isn't going to work, because I'm not convinced this Knight of Cups has dealt with or resolved the issues. It may just be a coping mechanism. This may just be a pattern. And Owl Spirit says, suddenly it's all going to make sense. Suddenly you're going to see things clearly. It warns that anybody making offers at this time, it's probably best to question their intentions. Now, I am not saying that they have bad intentions, but if you get back together quickly, these problems are bound to resurface if they're not dealt with entirely. And 2020 is not leaving stones unturned. We are not sweeping things under the rug. If you've noticed, everything is getting exposed, right? We're all very vulnerable, no matter how good of a job you're doing building the wall around you and protecting yourself. At some point, you're going to have to get vulnerable. And I think what Spirit wants you to know, Page of Pentacles as your advice card, is to focus on your foundations. Focus on your security, but you don't have to be so serious about it. So here's a scenario. The Knight of Cups may be wanting or begging for your forgiveness, telling you how much they love you. But in all reality, the Page of Pentacles is just a Page of Pentacles. It's a compliment. It's a gift. It's the very beginning of something. But it's little. It holds very little commitment to it. It holds very non-committal kind of just curious, just, you know, it's dating. It's just, let's go out on a couple dates. Like, you know, it's not a commitment like let's live together, let's get married. And you want to watch your expectations. If you're walking away from this person, if you're setting your boundaries and telling them this is not okay, and I want some time and I really want to focus on my career, Page of Pentacles is a great energy for going back to school or continuing your education. It's even a great energy for starting a new hobby. I think the universe wants you to pay attention to you, because if you're waiting for this person to react to you leaving in a way where, oh my God, I've missed you so much. And remember the Six of Cups. Remember your expectations. I can't live without you. I want to get back together. If those are your expectations, I feel as though you're going to be a little disappointed, because that let's get married and let's get back together in all reality is just, hey, can we grab a cup of coffee and talk? You know, and that doesn't mean that you won't get back together. It doesn't mean that this person doesn't love you. But I think you both are just taking a little bit of a time out right now, a breather, to try to work on yourselves. Page of Pentacles, directly underneath is your second and final moon card for the month, the energy that you're moving out of the month with, which is mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. Well, I pick up a couple things. The next mutable moon that we have, as far as major moon placements, you know, would be in September. We have a new moon coming up in September that should be really beautiful, and it's in Virgo, which is a mutable sign. So Page of Pentacles, it's going to be slow. If you guys are going to work things out in this situation, it's just not going to be a big bang. It's going to be a little bit at a time. It's going to be a slow moving energy because you are building a stronger foundation. And nothing is yet set in stone tells me that this Knight of Cups character may not know what they want. And Sag, the thing is, you don't want to invest your time and energy into somebody that doesn't know what they want. Mutable energy is things can change, they can ebb and flow. I love this card because it almost looks as if the waves are kind of moving in two separate directions, right? In opposite directions of each other. And, you may be in this energy all of August where some days you want to get back together, some days you want to be alone. It might wave back and forth. You might change your mind. And the universe is wanting you to stay flexible, stay open, go for coffee, have the conversations. If there's an opportunity to go for therapy, you might benefit greatly from it. And there's a lot to gain through this process. And that's how I'm seeing it, very much as a process. Your oracle card for August. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. If you are in a situation where you're being asked to forgive somebody, that takes time. You don't just wake up one day and all of a sudden everything's okay. Forgiveness takes time, and it takes work, and it takes energy. Forgiveness is a crucial exercise in any situation, because forgiveness, if you can't reach a place of forgiving another person, then you carry that within your vibration. And it plants seeds in you, seeds of doubts, where you start to look at life a little bit different. Even if this person made you feel like they were not grateful for you. If this person hurt you, if they cheated on you, betrayed you, you have two choices. Also with the dolphin spirit. You have two choices. There's two different ways of looking at the situation. First of all, you have to stay in your power. You can't give anybody else the opportunity to make you feel bad about you. Sometimes when we're in relationships, especially when some kind of cheating has occurred, a lot of the times our first instinct is, well, why are they better than me? Why am I not enough for you? If that triggers you, there's healing to be done. Because you cannot control anybody else. Everybody is on their own path now. We're all making choices with our own free will to go down whatever path that we feel is our destiny. And if you feel at any time like you cannot reach a path or a goal without the help, without the support, without the commitment from another person, the universe is going to show you otherwise. Because you already have everything that you need. And you should never ask or want or expect anything from anyone else other than for them to make themselves happy. Now, I'm not saying that by going out and, if this person cheated on you, that you should say, well, as long as they're happy. Of course not. But the worst thing that you could do is think that there was something in your behavior, something in your appearance, something in your life that has made you feel undeserving of their love. That is the kind of power you cannot give to anyone else, because it's just simply not true. And in fact, it probably has very little, if anything, to do with you. They are just simply on their path. And sometimes it's a gift. Page of Pentacles can be a gift. Sometimes the universe will show you who a person really is because it's protecting you. Because it's telling you there's better things for you to spend your time and energy on. That there are other things that are meant for you in this world. Oftentimes I look back at my life at times when certain things came to an end, and at the time I didn't see the bigger picture, and I allowed it to bury me for a long time in, oh, how could this person do this to me? How could this fall apart? But it's not a healthy place. And this could be a gift. Because as I was saying, with these waves kind of going in opposite directions, and I'm just getting this feeling like if something's leaving your life and you're somewhat in between worlds here, not knowing what's going to happen, stay open and don't be committed to any certain thing, because something else can come in. I love this because it feels almost like we're completing a story here. If you look at these two, it's closing out, right? It's closing out. By the end of the month, you're going to have almost the whole story. You're going to see almost the whole picture. So that's why you want to adjust those expectations of yourself, of others. I think it's a really great time for Sag to focus on their career, focus on their finances. If you need to pay down debt, kind of make a game out of it, Do something in a way to set these little goals for yourself and then reach them. And stay feeling good about yourself. Make that your number one priority. Even with this Angel of Balance card, make time to keep your body healthy as well. I know if you go through a breakup and you're feeling bad about yourself, the best thing that you could do is just do what's right for your body. Honor yourself. If you feel like somebody else didn't honor you, if you feel like somebody else didn't cherish your body, your physical vessel, then you have to do that for yourself. It's really healing. I pulled some love cards for you. With everything going on, I just thought sometimes I get a better picture, but a lot of the times they're just kind of retelling the story that I just told you with the other cards, which is exactly what it was. The King of Wands, and he actually spun out in reverse. I don't typically pull these cards in reverse. Knight of Wands in reverse is definitely a partner who is maybe not so trustworthy. A partner who is very non-committal. Maybe somebody who doesn't seem to know what they want. or who they want. And 8 of Pentacles is a feeling of indifference. There's a coldness between you two. There is maybe a feeling like you're not sure if one person or the other even wants to work on it. If they even care if you stay, if they care if you go. Indifference is a pretty, it's a pretty 9 of Wands type of feeling. It's the separate bedrooms, it's the not talking, it's silent dinners, and keeping to yourself, keeping your emotions under wraps. Knave of Swords. Well, I see a man groveling. Very much so, with the Knave of Swords. So I think this is where the communication will kick in. And I think this will be the time when, you know, through the opposition, through the trouble, you may get to know each other better. But more so, you may start to see him better, or her, whoever this person is, because it comes out right underneath that owl spirit. You see clearly now. I think you're gaining clarity, and right underneath that owl spirit as well is the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is, again, a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of chaos, thoughts in your mind. So you want to be careful. If you plan or want to work things out, you want to reconcile, you want to offer forgiveness, because there's no indication here that things are necessarily over or unforgivable. I'm not sure if you're even convinced that what has happened is really enough to leave, but it's definitely enough to shake up the foundation of the relationship. And certainly what won't help is being in your head about things. So this is a reminder that we're in Leo season now. So the sun in Leo, it kind of gets us in touch with our heart, with what our hearts want and need, and the courage to go after it. But it could be a little bit noisy. And then we step into Virgo season at the end of August, leading into September. And Virgo is very mercurial, much like the Swords energy. And it could be a place of being too critical of ourselves, too critical of our loved ones. Just being in our head, over analyzing the situation. You know, you can look at it from 100 different ways, 100 different perspectives, and something else comes to you. But 5 of Swords is like all of those doubts. So if you're trying to set the intention to reconcile and get back together, you certainly don't want to bring in this energy of making snide comments. Oh my God, I used to do that to my ex all the time because it was unresolved pain, right? That's why I'm saying that this is going to take time. You can't expect things to get better overnight. Like, there's just a feeling of needing to be a grown-up about this. If this is a relationship that you want to keep, that you want to be in, it's going to take work. It's going to take communication and openness and maturity. Because if you're going to get over something like this, it's not just a matter of forgetting or pretending it didn't happen. Then every time you get mad at each other, you bring it back up, right? Or it's always in your head, and it causes doubts. If there has been some kind of an infidelity, you may become a little paranoid, like it's going to happen again. This could be the searching through each other's phones, looking through each other's cars, kind of really unhealthy, toxic behavior within a relationship. So for sure, Sag, nothing is set in stone, and that's exactly how it should be in August. Don't put so much pressure on you to make decisions, just let it kind of come naturally. Let the universe show you the way. All right, guys. Have a wonderful August, and I will see you in September. Lots of love.